welcome to episode 21 of Artful Mind. Today I have with me my guest, Dr. Anupama Borah. She is an assistant professor in the School of Agricultural Sciences, Nagaland University. I welcome you, Dr. Anupama Borah. I hope you had a great festive season.
Yeah,
How are you?
thank you so much, Tashreen, for inviting me again to your podcast. I really loved all the episodes, whatever you are presenting, and the guest. All the episodes are really helpful, I feel, for the new students who are thinking for joining PhD and who are thinking for academic as well as research line. So I'm really thankful to you for inviting me. And yes, so let us start today's podcast.
Yes, and you're the first one coming second time.
Okay, thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Okay. So today we will be talking about different criterias and the admission structure in IITs or PhD. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So, I would like to tell that, like, although the PhD criteria are almost similar, but some of the new addition, I feel this time they have added some of the new addition or new schemes they have added in only few of the departments, not all the departments. Like regular seats are there as such, like previous years also they used to, IITs used to advertised for the regular seats, but mostly we all know about part-time PhD and sponsored seats, so that were there existing, but only few departments they have added some of the other schemes like CSIR UGC special scheme that is applicable for SC candidates mostly, and new fellowships will be there, and that is applicable. Suppose I, for example, I wanted to tell you about IIT Guwahati. So some departments like Department of Biosciences and Bioengineering and Department of Physics, Department of Chemistry. So these three departments are launching this, means they might take through this scheme also, and also JDP with IIT BHU. So joint degree program in PhD, IIT Guwahati is also starting along with IIT BHU. So these are some of the new types of there are new schemes which are added to the existing scheme. So as such, there is not much changes. Only changes is that they have added new fellowship schemes into the admission program. And regarding project mode as well as sponsored and part-time, we will talk, I think in this podcast already we have some questions more, so I'll be
Mhm.
talking again on that. Yeah.
Okay. So for someone who is in their masters, so what do you think the eligibility criteria? And also one more important thing is that people think that IITs are only for engineering or science background, right?
Yeah,
Many
yeah,
are not aware, and even if they're aware, they do not go and apply for master's program as well. So
yeah,
can you talk about that as well? Like
yeah, yeah.
most of the IITs have this humanities department, right, where students from various background, arts background, can go and apply. So yeah, you can tell about that as well. If
uh,
these changes are applied to them also.
Okay. So yes, IITs, like not, maybe not all the IITs, but mostly like all the IITs are covering humanities and social sciences these days. And
Mhm.
even like almost all IITs, they have this department, and especially this department, it has lot of, sorry, one second. Okay. So this department actually, it includes students from different backgrounds. Suppose English background, history background, or political science, economics. Even like some of the mixture background also students, interdisciplinary research also they can go and either do their masters. Like suppose some students they are doing BA in history or BA in political science or any other subjects related to arts, and they can do some of the specialized master's program in humanities department. This
Mhm.
especially in IIT Guwahati, there is a program that is uh, masters of what was that program? Masters Developmental Studies. Yeah, masters
Developmental
in developmental
studies.
studies. Yeah, so that
Mhm.
subject is not directly related to, like, it's not a it's sorry, it's not like it's English department or this department, but it is like a mixture of departments. So the
Mm,
faculties are directly related to developmental studies. So different programs or different project works goes on in that department,
mm,
and also they can continue their PhD also after their
right.
MA degree. Yeah,
Masters.
they can continue in that department. So it's like I get a lot of questions on HSS department actually. So even
Mhm.
initially I was not sure about that, but I have looked up, and some seniors also, I have talked with them, and they told about this department. So it's a very nice department. If somebody wants to do PhD from IIT, so they can check out the website. They will get all the details along with the admission criteria and all the guidelines they will get. They can go through and they can apply in that.
Right. And uh, if we talk about the selection and interview, no, before that, I think the application process. Um,
Yeah.
for example, this GATE and NEET are mandatory for science background, right? If
Yeah,
someone has not done masters or MTech.
yeah, exactly. For basically for PhD in IIT, at IITs mostly GATE or NET is mandatory if you're not having masters. But suppose you
MTech.
have masters, MTech, and with a very good score, you are having that. So that time it doesn't become mandatory, but there will be like other criteria. Suppose like interview rounds will be there. There will be written test. So all these things you might be called, and then there will be the other criteria for selection. And if suppose you're not having GATE or NET, then you need to have a CGPA more than eight, and that too, that CGPA more than eight. If you're doing from other IIT, that is in BTech. In BTech, if you're
Mm.
getting CGPA more than 8 from any other IITs, you can directly go for opt for PhD degree from any IITs. So
Mhm.
that time you do not require a GATE or NET. So that is the only criteria. Otherwise, it's mandatory, but like again, one more thing is that net JRF, if anybody opts for PhD in IT, so if they don't have GATE also, they can apply through net JRF. If they have that valid score, they can apply and they can be called for interview. So that is
Mhm.
it.
And if we talk about the part-time PhD, then what is the criteria? Only the background is important, right?
Yeah, part-time PhD mostly it's not that very difficult, but you just need a valid master's degree program related to that, relevant to that department in which you are opting for PhD admission. And minimum criteria you require, you mainly require, I think, more than 60% in your master's program. And also for part-time PhD, especially, you need NOC from, if you're working in some industry or working in any institute, so you need NOC from them so that you can continue your PhD or you can take admission into your PhD. And especially for sponsored candidates, you need a sponsorship certificate from the organization, that in which includes basically your pay, how much you being paid, or how much, like basically all the details you need to provide in that certification. And one more thing is that although GATE or NET is not mandatory, but if it is there with you, even in part-time PhD, it will be helping you in the
Mhm.
admission process. So that's it.
Okay. And if we talk about the industry sponsored one, then someone need to first approach the industry or they can directly get into IIT and then they can apply. Do you have
Uh,
idea
I
about this?
guess for sponsored PhD, like that person, first of all, the person has to have 2 years of service in that industry, and then that person has to definitely, before applying for PhD, the industry has to be, mostly it has to be either verbally or in written, that I'm not sure, but the industry has to know about that you are planning to do, or you're getting into through that process. So then it becomes easy for the person who is applying to get the PhD degree. So and then when you are applying to the sponsored seat in any PhD program, so the time the industry also, it becomes easy for the industry also to allow you to do the PhD. So although
Mm.
it's not like either way out, like either you can apply first or you can inform first. So that is fine, I feel.
So, like, you have to be a working professional in that industry, otherwise, someone cannot, or
Yeah,
like,
definitely. Yeah, you need to be
okay.
working in an industry or even
Mm.
in academia also. If you are working somewhere as a faculty, that time
Okay.
also you need to apply the same process. So in that way.
Mm. Okay. And if we talk about the examination and interview rounds, because every department has different criteria, right?
Yeah. It varies actually in different departments. Some departments like from centers, basically what happens in department and centers, there is little difference. So in departments, what happens, there are huge number of candidate applying for direct like PhD program. Suppose in
Mm.
the Department of Computer Science and Technology, students are studying, like the number of students will be more in the department. So even the PhD seats, regular seats also will be more. So for that, the selection criteria will be little bit multiple step. Suppose multiple rounds of interview will be there. There will be written examination. So it depends
Mm.
on the department itself how they want to conduct the interview as well as the process. And for centers, especially, it is like mostly multidisciplinary research or something like that. So what happens, sometime they conduct written exam as well as interview, or else sometime directly they conduct interviews. So it
Right.
varies from department to department as well as from IIT to IIT. So it is like that.
Mm. Okay. Because I had that notion that why these departments are being so strict, right? They conduct written exam, then they conduct this presentation also that what you
yeah
will
yeah
be
yeah
working. So
definitely.
okay,
Yeah,
so this is mostly to filter out the student,
filter
right?
out.
Otherwise,
Exactly.
it is difficult to interview so many
Exactly.
students.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Mm.
so there are a huge number of now these days, like PhDs are so flooded with huge number of candidates.
Mhm.
So definitely, the faculties itself, they want somebody who are highly motivated, as well as they have all the type of skills like presentation skill. They will be checking the presentation skill, ability to communicate through the presentation as well as through the interview, and also the interview performance. So all these
Mm.
things comes on not only the marks, but as well as the personality of the person of the candidate also, they will go through all those.
Look
So these all
for.
things matters. Yeah.
Okay. So as a faculty yourself now, so what will you be looking for someone coming for interview? Because as a student, we think differently, and as a
Yeah.
faculty, you will be thinking differently, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So,
So, some of the common things I feel that a candidate has to has is that ability to speak up your work. Mostly, I have observed even during my PhD days. Also, I used to observe my fellow mates or somebody like my lab mates or somebody else. Like although they are highly qualified, highly they have a very good degree in paper. They have like good degree, good marks, and also the work they are doing. It's really good, but some of them, they are not able to communicate their work to the whoever is asking them or the interviewer, so they are not able to do that.
mhm,
So that time what happens, it becomes very difficult to get deserving candidates in that way also. So ability to communicate is first criteria I
mhm,
feel that an interviewer will be looking for. Even me, I will be looking
mhm,
for such a person. And basically the person who has clear knowledge of basics, so
mhm,
that is the second thing I feel a candidate should be having. And
yeah,
thirdly, that person has to be passionate about the area of research he or she wants to work or he's applying. So not
mhm,
like just for the sake of getting a PhD, that person is applying in PhD. It should not be like that. That person should be motivated, self motivated, and
mhm,
also ability to conduct research on own. It's not like every time that person will be spoon fed by any person or any
right.
supervisor. So I
Mhm.
feel all these four criteria are little important. And also you can add, I feel, some of the points. If I'm missing out with something, you can
Yeah.
add up with that.
I think these are the main points because
Mm.
most of the time students think that your marks will be important, or if someone is having some paper in their masters, right?
Yeah,
Many people do not have. So some people think
yeah,
in the interview round while talking to other people, they think that they will be a disadvantage, and that kind of demotivate them also, which
yeah,
I also felt during my PhD interviews, because some people, they were
Mm.
having paper, one or two paper. I'll be
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know anything, because when you come out freshly, you feel like, okay, everyone is having some advantage, right? But that is not the point. And at the end, what you convey to the interviewer is important, and how
Yeah,
you do that, right?
exactly.
Because
Yeah, yeah.
nobody knows everything. Yeah,
Yeah,
even basics
definitely.
also.
Yeah,
That
definitely.
is.
But also one thing that sometime overconfident also some of the candidates I feel they are very
Yeah.
overconfident also. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
not like as you said now, like if you're having papers, it's good. It's
Yeah.
good. It will add advantage. But if you cannot explain those, that is also a thing. And
Right.
then overconfidence should not be there. But the thing is that whatever you are asked with, you should be able to tell like
Mm.
sincerely. That is
Sincerely.
what interviewer will be looking on you. And
Mhm.
yeah, these are the points I feel.
Right. And also, this presentation part, right? In some
Yeah,
department, like in chemical engineering of IIT Guwahati, they have this presentation. I
yeah,
think that also some people, because after masters, some people do not want to continue their masters topic, right? Because
yeah,
BTech and MTech, we do not have the option to select our topic. We are
yeah,
mostly allocated to
yeah.
the faculty, and then we do the job. So in
Mm.
that case, someone can change the topic, or they should stick to that one. What do you think? Because then again, you need to frame something on your own, and as a master student,
Mm.
sometimes it becomes difficult also, right?
Like you're asking for free designing
uh,
MTech research or PhD
no,
research?
PhD research,
PhD research.
right?
Okay, okay, okay,
Because that will
okay.
be like 5 or 10 slides you need to present, right, on
Hmm.
some topic. And also,
Yeah.
you don't know who will be taking you. So if suppose you
Okay.
are showing some slides that guide is not taking, then it kind of,
Hmm.
yeah, it was the difficulties that I also felt.
Hmm.
So
Hmm. Hmm.
what will be
Okay.
your suggestion?
Okay, so the it's not mandatory to follow like if suppose you're working in the same lab, suppose masters you're doing in the same lab and you're doing even PhD in the same lab, you have entered into the same lab. In case, I'm not saying that you should do that, but
Mhm.
it is not mandatory that even in the same lab also you can follow a different topic. So you
Mhm.
have to be like the supervisor has to approve that. If you're thinking of any new idea, also the supervisor has to be approving that. And also like if you can even change, even you can change the whole area in which you were working previously and you want to work newly, so that is not an issue I feel. And
Mhm.
the thing is that how to select that is important. Like you want to work on certain area in your PhD which does not have any link with your master's in your master's project. So what happens, first of all you have to think what are the scientists or what are the professors working on that area. You
Mhm.
have to see in that way, and then you have to find their profile, or you need to talk. If you have a chance, you should talk with them and let them know your idea. If they are okay with that, you can present your like you can present your work to that professor. So in that way the professor might be okay with it, or
Interesting.
he might provide you some suggestion. So in that way you
Mhm.
can take up good positive feedback. And for interviews especially, if you have already some idea regarding some faculties,
Mhm.
you can show in that way, so that few, at least few of the faculties will be easy with the idea what you're presenting. So that will add some points I feel. So entirely new topic also you can present, but you need to have some base for that. If there is some scope of doing in that lab, then the faculty will
Mhm.
be definitely, he'll be allowing or she'll be allowing to work with that idea of yours. But it is not mandatory to follow the same pattern of research. You can change. Some students I have seen, they have switched from practical or wet lab to dry lab. Suppose in
Mhm.
masters they have done experimental research,
Yeah.
like in lab you have to work all day long. So in PhD what they did to this dry lab means all the type of computational work, or in
Mhm.
you just have to work with your laptop with softwares,
Yeah.
so you can do that way also. But only the thing is that
Mhm.
you need to adapt it and learn from yourself. You need to be able to
Mhm.
do that. So that's what I feel
Mhm.
it's important.
Okay, I forgot to ask about
Mm.
preparing for the written examination.
Okay.
Uh, the level of difficulties in IIT written exam.
Uh,
Mostly
Written
it will be
exam.
biotech. Uh,
Biotech.
uh, no, it will be mostly BTech level only, right?
Yeah, mostly. So, difficulty level, it depends from department to department, I feel. I don't know much about other departments, but like BSB is little related to my area, in to my
Mhm.
field as I did my BTech in biotechnology. So, suppose you're applying for PhD or masters, so the level of toughness, like level of tough, it will be around BTech level only. Or if you're knowing basics, if your basics is cleared, like from class 12 till like class 10 plus 2, as well as BTech, if you are reading it thoroughly, so you'll be able to do that. But maybe some questions might be tricky, I feel, because the faculties also, they want to do so that you won't be able to do 100%. So
Yeah.
they will put some difficulty level, but there will be easy level also. So I feel it will be a
Mhm.
mixture, so you don't have to worry for that.
Right.
So that way.
Okay. Um, what else we need to cover? Another examination, and if we can talk about this PMRF scheme as well, right?
Okay, yeah.
Because now they're increasing the fellowship, which is a good initiative for
Yeah,
them.
yeah, really, really. PMRF, so what would I like to, means how will I say, like what are the criteria, or like
Yeah,
what should I
criteria
share
and in general, like how
in
someone
general?
can. Yeah.
How do the
Mhm.
candidate can apply for that, right?
Right.
Okay, so mostly as I have observed, like during my times, and even you have observed, so PMR fellowship is Prime Minister Research Fellowship. So that fellowship mostly in IITs students get in the second year, I feel, from second year, or they can apply from the first year itself. But the number one top priority or the criteria for getting PMRF is that they need to get I think more than 8.5,
Mhm.
8.5 out of 10 CGPA in their first year. So that is the topmost criteria. And then they need also, they definitely they will be having any gate or net qualification they will be having, so that will be adding for the PMRF thing. And secondly, the I think research proposal, the person has to write a proper full research, a strong research proposal, verified by the supervisor. They need to make it ready before submitting. And for PMRF, there are some guidelines. So according to that, getting a strong research proposal is very important, writing
Mhm.
it. And then if you are having any publication from your first year, suppose any review paper, book chapter, or like you're right, or you've started your research, you're getting some publication, that will also help.
Mhm.
It's not mandatory that you need to have a published
Work.
research, but at least you've submitted something, or
Mhm.
some papers are on pipeline, so that will help you out to apply for PMRF. And next is the recommendation letters from supervisor or any faculty members. So you need to prepare like recommendation letter for you, so that you're as you're applying for PMRF, you need to like so arrange for that
Mhm.
recommendation letter. And then mostly only one type of students or candidates cannot get PMRF, is that the person who is upgrading from MTech to PhD, like continuing like MTech degree, they're getting dual degree, suppose they're getting dual degree.
Okay.
So that person might not be able to get PMRF. Only the fresh candidates who are getting admission into PhD, they can apply for PMRF. So these are
Okay.
the basic criterias for PMRF.
Mhm. But now the PMRF student who joined PhD directly after BTech, they can do this dual MTech degree, right? 1 year they can do the coursework, then they will get the MTech plus PhD degree. Now
Okay, okay,
they are having that option as well.
okay.
Yes.
Okay, so that will
Mhm.
be the new like
Yeah, I
whatever
think from
guidelines will be coming,
last
that will be very
year,
new ones. I
yes,
think it
I
have
think from
started.
last year they have started that
Okay,
one.
okay.
Mm.
So if it is that way, then it will be really helpful, I think, for the
Yes.
students also.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it will save
yeah.
their time because
Save the
they have
timing,
already
exactly.
joined
Mm-hmm.
PhD after BTech and then
Okay.
yes.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, exactly. That will be really
Mhm.
good, I feel, for the students.
Yeah, because
Mm-hmm.
during my time, I remember
Mm.
skipping this master's degree was not advisable. Like it will give some
Yeah,
disadvantage
yeah.
later because I wanted to
Ex
do PhD
yeah,
after my BTech, but I was
yeah,
advised that you should not skip MTech
yeah.
or later you will be having disadvantage. But now it's like totally fine.
Totally fine. Yeah, even I
Mm,
applied, I think after my BTech itself, but yeah, even I got later on. Actually, one incident I remember, like one of my friend itself, that person did direct PhD after BTech. So he was having some issues regarding when he was applying in some institutes, like not like very IITs or NITs. It might be state or central university or somewhere. So in that, some of the colleges they were asking for masters because the masters marks they were not able to add. So they were asking for masters mark. So that's what that friend of mine have suggested, that it's good that you didn't skip your master's degree. So that is a
mm,
very long time back. It's a very
okay.
long time back. Now the things are changing because even NITs,
Right.
IITs, or the top institutes, they are accepting, and they know that okay, this is fine because the structure is changing, the study structure or the
Mm,
curriculum is changing. So I feel it is quite fine as of now, but initially it
right.
was an
It
issue
was,
with some of the
yeah.
candidates. Yeah.
Mm, yeah, because they change something in the academics, then they do
Yeah.
not change in the job area,
Yeah,
right? Then it
exactly.
becomes a
While applying
chaos,
for jobs,
right?
that time it becomes difficult.
Yeah, and also,
Research jobs, so it's
hmm,
fine, but for academic
yes,
jobs in India,
academics, it is,
especially in India,
hmm,
so these rules and regulations are very difficult to
right.
like, because if it is
Because,
different in that way, it will be difficult for applying again.
yeah,
So that's what.
it is mostly, I think, for interdisciplinary people, right? Their bachelor, masters, in different. Then, in if when you go for job again, they will be
Yeah.
needing the same department throughout your
Yeah,
career.
yeah.
So I think
That is also an
that is
issue. Yeah, that is also
that
an
is an
issue.
issue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is an
I
issue.
think government should look into that because they're allowing people to study in different
Exactly.
departments, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Then,
That is a major concern, I feel. Even I
mm,
have multiple degree because my bachelor's and master's are little
different.
specialization in there. So even I have faced some issue in
Mm,
academic wherever I have applied. Some of the institutes they are like they are only mentioning, okay, this only this or this specific area only we require. So in that time it
mm,
becomes difficult again for applying in your own subject only.
right.
So that way it becomes a little difficult. So I feel the government or the board
Mm,
needs to look on
they
that,
need
and they
to
need
look.
to
Yes.
include, like, inclusiveness should be there for the
Mm,
degrees. Yeah, in different departments.
right. Um, I think we covered almost everything, or do you want to add something?
Okay, not much. I feel we have covered mostly, but I think one thing I can share, uh, like for admission in IITs, like a lot of
Mm,
candidates used to ask in my YouTube channel also that, like, what is mainly what the faculties look for in a candidate for IIT
right.
interview, you know? So like mostly I would like to say that some of the points which a candidate has to take in consideration are that not only the marks, as you have said, no, the students
Mm,
did not have a good marks only. So the person has to have, especially nowadays in research, especially in IITs and NITs or top institutes, they really encourage interdisciplinary thinking. It's not like only one subject. Your degree, if it is like in the same subject, it's fine.
mm,
But in PhD, you can also acquire or like try to think interdisciplinary topics, and you can work on that also. So I
mm,
feel like upcoming generation of PhD candidates, they need to think about that, and they can go and apply their own understanding and learning, and then in their research also they can do that. And also, as I have already said, communication skills, you have to work on the communication skills. The students who are wanting to take admission into IITs, you need to work
mm,
in your communication skills. And also, please get some research experience if possible.
mm,
Suppose some training programs or some additional certification courses online also you're getting, and
mm.
in hand certification courses or some experiences if you're getting, or
Short
you are getting some
term.
exposure
Mm,
projects and all if you're getting somewhere. So you just get those research experiences it will be helping in your admission in PhD. So these things are really important if you are wanting to join PhD from IITs. So these
Right.
things. Hmm. Okay.
So we can end now.
Okay. Oh,
Okay. So again, heartfelt thank you to my guest, Dr. Anupama Borah, for sharing your expertise and experience. And I believe that these conversation will help the aspiring student who are planning to apply for this 2025 PhD in IITs or any top institute. And also the student they need to remember, because this is a journey of passion plus patience. You may be lucky to have a short duration of patience, but it is a mixture of these two mainly. So,
yeah.
and also if you are dedicated and consistent, a right opportunity will come your way. So that I believe. And
Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, all the best to the candidates, upcoming candidates who are thinking to apply, and even I think admission lines are already
yeah,
open. You please check out the websites of any IITs you want to take admission. Please go through the protocol. You will be finding everything. And if you guys have any doubt, you can even email me, or you can email Tashreen also, and you can put comments in our podcast. We will reply to you. We'll get back to you for any doubts or suggestions. So thank you so much
yeah.
for calling me, and yeah, I'm grateful.
Thank you so much, and thank you to the audience. Also, you please feel free to share this episode with a junior or someone who is planning to apply. I hope it will
Yeah.
help them
Yeah,
because
definitely.
they,
The viewers, I really request you to share this podcast with all the other your friends or anybody who wants to apply or who is already there in the program. They can also like you can share it with them. So it will be really
right.
helpful for everyone. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for your
Oh,
guidance. I hope the student will get some clarity how to navigate this admission process.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And also, if you think that we didn't cover something, you please drop a comment. We will try to get back to you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, Tashreen.
Okay,
Bye. Thank
bye.
you.
Thank you.